Welcome back to Talking Too Much with Hannah O'Reilly. I'm Hannah O'Reilly, and this is episode 18. Welcome back, guys. It's Columbus Day by the time you're watching this, so I had off from work today, and I really dragged my feet on filming this episode. I think I was just like enjoying the day off. I'm coming off of a trip to New York City, which can obviously take a lot out of you. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to film this at night. Like, I don't even care. Hence why I put up a curtain on this front door. I actually really don't like the look of it when it's dark out. And I don't know, it gives like dungeon vibes in here. And I feel like this looks like super cozy. I think I'm going to buy a curtain for this because everyone was wondering. I think I'm going to buy a curtain for this so I can have it there permanently. So you never know what time of day it is when I'm filming, even though I end up telling you anyway. So hope everyone enjoyed their day off if you had a day off. If you work in the news business like I used to, you never get a day off. So to all my news friends that are watching, and my news boyfriend, I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, guys. So what a busy week and weekend and all the things. I actually think I'm getting sick. I don't know if you can hear it. But I certainly can feel it. So I'm going to have to deal with that this week, I'm sure. I'm trying to like catch it early on and, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have such a busy week, like after work stuff, like just with my friends, like literally nothing like crazy, but it's just like I have a lot of people that I'm seeing all this week. And I do this to myself, like I'll schedule everything all at once and then I'll be like, why am I so tired? Why did I get sick? And like I play dumb every single time and then we just keep doing it. But anyway, I'm really excited. You know, it gets harder and harder to make plans with your friends as you get older because everyone's doing 50 million things, me included. So I'm just happy to get together with my girlies. Okay, I like the bangs out, but also I had the heat on because it's cold out. But then I have the heat on and then I'm sweating. So I'm like, okay, let's pick a lane. But anyway, my point of that, the bangs in my face were kind of making me sweaty. Okay, we're talking about a lot of nonsense. So New York City was woof. We cannot keep that like that. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I went to New York City this weekend. Super fun. Dylan had gotten me tickets to go see The Great Gatsby on Broadway, actually for my last birthday, so my 29th. Can't go a full episode without reminding you that I'm 30. For my 29th, and then we just like never had a free weekend, or like we also just like did not put the time in to find a free weekend. And then he was like, listen, we're going this weekend in October. Be there or be square. So I was there. And it rained the entire weekend because God forbid Dylan and I can just go have a fall day in New York City without it raining. Last time we went to New York City, just the two of us, it rained also. So, okay, that's awesome. In a city where you need to walk everywhere, that's really cool. And really a waste of time when I blow dry my hair for an hour. So on Saturday was the show, and I was struck with a migraine. I woke up with the migraine, to be honest. And I don't know if it was like allergies. Like I could feel it like in my nose and around my one eye. And I just know, like, if you're a girly that gets migraines or headaches or whatever, like, you just know, like, it feels a certain way, and you just know, like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck this way for the rest of the day, and there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm going to be insufferable, and everyone's going to have to deal with it. And there's some migraines where I can tell if I wake up, I'm like, okay, I can still salvage today. I got this. I'm going to get rid of this one. This was one where it was going to take control of the entire narrative. So I woke up, I took my Excedrin, I was trying to get myself together, and it just was not going away. If anything, I was feeling sicker and sicker. And, you know, I try to like gaslight myself. I'm like, you don't have a headache. You do not have a headache. You feel fine. This is like such a great day. Like, it's not even raining, actually. It's not even raining and you don't have a headache. Okay. Yeah. My body said otherwise. So Dylan hails a cab. We get in the cab. We're headed to the show. And I'm just like so unwell. And I got to give Dylan credit. Like, one thing about Dylan, he will pivot no matter what. Like, if I could be like, he could have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this Broadway show, and he'd be like, it's no biggie. If you don't feel good, we don't have to go. And I really appreciate that, because there's nothing worse than already feeling so guilty and horrible, and you're sick and just all the things. And then you have a partner who is only adding to it, and it's just like, dude, like, I don't have time for this right now. And he is not like that, luckily. So he was like, listen, I can call the box office, I can see if we can get a refund. I could just swallow the money, like, it's whatever. So I did a quick Google search. You can't get a refund. And I'm like, you know what? I am not going to let this headache ruin the day. So we end up going to the show, and now I'll be honest. There were a couple scenes where there were so many songs that I was like, you know what? I think this one I'll shut my eyes. Okay, this one I'm going to shut my eyes. Not to, everyone was so talented in the show. It was a good show. But I'm like, I don't know if I need to listen to all 3 songs in a row. I just don't. Also, I read the book. So I know if I zone out for a sec, I can get right back in and I know where we're at. So I did that. And normally that still doesn't work for me when I have a headache. Like, I have to full blown, like, put down like the blackened shades and like AC unit on, white noise, headphones in. Like, I have to seriously dig myself into such a cave that nobody can bother me for me to be able to fall asleep, and fall asleep with a migraine. But something about The Great Gatsby, I was able to shut my eyes. I didn't even fall asleep. I just shut my eyes. I'm still like listening to the full show. Okay, theater girlies, don't come for me. And suddenly, like towards the end of the show, like I felt like, okay, I think I can get out of this. And she sure did. I got myself out of it, and it took a little bit. Like, after the show, we were still walking around, and I'm like, I think we're just going to have to call it. Like, I really, really do. And I was able to pull it together. So props to me. Okay, you're welcome, Dylan. And you're welcome to the cast of Great Gatsby. Now, in terms of the show itself, I've been to a lot of Broadway shows, I'll be honest. Why do I have to like be honest about that? Like, I've been to a lot of Broadway shows. Okay, period. And I love the arts. And I would say this was my least favorite. Also, actually, you know what? I'm not a Wicked fan, to be honest. Wicked, don't come for me. I love the movie. I listen to the soundtrack. Something about the show itself, I don't know what it is. It's very confusing. I even thought the movie was confusing, but I did enough research ahead of time to understand what was going on. I don't know. I think Wicked and Great Gatsby, like, they're just, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know if The Great Gatsby needed to be a Broadway show. I didn't once read that book and say, this should be a Broadway show with 1,000,002 songs in it. Okay, old sport, this needs to be a Broadway show. It was good. I'm able to separate the show itself from the actors and how much time and effort and energy that they put into it, okay? These actors were so talented. I mean, obviously, like, they're on Broadway, right? Like, I think everyone at the Stardust Diner needs to be hired for Broadway immediately. Like, I just am so mesmerized by people who are on Broadway, people who are in the arts, people who can sing and dance and do all the things. Like, they impressed me. They really, really impressed me. And a lot of them had solos in the show, and rightfully so. Like, that's when I would, like, my eyes would be shut, and then all of a sudden I hear the solo, and I'm like, I'm up. You know, in High School Musical, when Gabriella yells, "Try," that's me. I was like, oh, I'm up. It was really, really good. Like the singing and the dancing. I probably would not go see the show again. Where I don't say that for every Broadway show. My family and I saw Michael Jackson on Broadway for Easter, and I would go see that 10 more times. Now, that's one that I definitely could not have had a migraine during because I just quite simply would not be able to close my eyes to Thriller. But this one, yeah, we were okay. Okay, we came out. So the solos were great, like the acting was great. I just think it was just the plot itself. Maybe I also just don't like the book. I think The Great Gatsby just is good as a book. Like, I think you just leave it at that. Oh, I remember I saw the movie. I forgot it's a movie too. I think the movie was good. I remember seeing it like years ago. I think I liked it. I don't know. Also, like, I was starving. Like, I kind of set myself up for failure for this. We leave the show. I like get myself together, and then I'm starving. Okay, I've been trying to intermittent fast. Okay, that's a new journey we're on. My aunts and my cousins look snatched and they're intermittent fasting. And I'm like, you ladies look good. And they're like, oh, we're intermittent fasting and we feel amazing. And I'm like, I want to feel amazing. Like I said in my last episode, like I just want to feel so good, and anything it takes to feel that good, I'm going to do. Okay, not anything, obviously, but anything natural that I can. And I've been doing it for about a week, and I really did a good job. Like even in New York, like we ate dinner so early that by the time we were done for the day, I was able to just be like, okay, we're good. So we ended up going to dinner, and I got myself a filet mignon with some potatoes, and Mama was on the ups. So I really felt good about that. We got some walking in, which that's my thing about going to New York. Like I do love, even though it can be like, yeah, my feet hurt and I'm in platform boots. Like, okay, whatever. My feet end up killing me by the end of the day, but I know I exercised so hard that whatever I ate or drank, like it was just worth it. And we did not walk to the Broadway show because I was ill, and I'm barely walking on a good day, let alone a day where I'm ill. So on the way after the restaurant, we decided to walk all the way to our next stop. And I felt good about that. So I was still able to fit in some exercise. So get you a girl who can do both. She can be sick in the morning and running a 5K by night. Okay. Dinner was great, and I loved it. The only thing is, everything came out at such random times. And I thought maybe this just happened to us. Like maybe we didn't specify, like, hey, we want the appetizers like during the time when there's an appetizer. And we want our meals at the same time. No, it was like appetizer, then Dylan's meal. Then I was waiting like 20 minutes for my meal to come out. And then it came out and he was already done his meal. And I'm like, this is just little, I don't love it. So I thought maybe it was just us. And then the table next to us was getting their calamari and their chicken parm all at once. And they were like, hey, any way you could take this back? And because we need a beat with the calamari, like let us have alone time with the calamari and then we'll be good for the chicken parm. So I knew it wasn't just me. They just spoke up. I sucked it up, as I do. It was just like such a good weekend. Like it was such a good mix of like fun but relaxing. Dylan and I started the new season of Love is Blind. One thing about us, we love Love is Blind. I literally love Love is Blind. Now, I think I've watched almost every season. I didn't watch UK. I could not get into that one. But I love Love is Blind. I think it's such a good show. I think even as the seasons go on and you start to, we get the shtick now. We know what's happening. A lot of them, you can see right through it. Like they're on there just to, maybe get famous, or not everyone, but some, like I can pick them out. And then I can tell like who's not going to last. Like the minute they see each other when those doors open, I'm like, it's not happening. Like it is not happening. And this season when we were watching, like I could already tell who was not going to work out even when they were still in the pods. Like I'm listening to them talk and I'm obviously like just looking at them and knowing who's not going to be compatible. Like I'm sorry. I don't know if Love is entirely blind. And they try, and this show really does try. And I think I want to see how many couples like actually have made it out of the show and like got married and are together. I don't think it's many. And if it is, they most likely saw each other and they were in the same league. And they're like, yeah, this will work. We have similar compatibility and we're in the same league. I don't know if it's fair to say Love is Blind when you're in the same league, because you probably see the person like, yeah, I'll go for them in the real world. And then it kind of just like, it just worked out for you. That's simply not the case for all these couples, and I could spot it a mile away. So, okay, if you don't watch Love is Blind, it's pretty much in the title. Basically, these couples, they date each other in these pods. They can't see the other person, and they're trying to just get to know each other on a personal level and not see face to face. I think if you don't have a personality to back up your looks, sayonara. If you're all personality and you don't take care of yourself whatsoever and your looks just like you clearly are just neglecting yourself, sayonara also. Like there has to be a happy medium. But this show, and I don't know if Dylan brought this up. I know this was like a hot topic Dylan wanted to talk about on one of the episodes that he was on with me, how like the show, obviously like they just pick people who are attractive regardless. Like even if they're unattractive, they're only unattractive in the show compared to everybody else. They're not unattractive in the real world. Like Dylan was saying to me, for this show to really, really prove if Love is Blind, like you need people with actual physical ailments or like crazy looks, like just all over the map. Like you can't just have these like attractive people and just think because maybe you got a girl who was a little bit on the chunkier side that like that's gonna count as Love is Blind. Like I'm sorry, is she still a smoke show? Like I don't know. They get these guys. The one guy is a sleeve tattoo. Like that's just not crazy enough for me. I want to see this so wild, but I will say I think people's feelings would really get hurt. And the show would just become so toxic. And maybe people like that just simply aren't going out for this show because they're self-aware and they're just like, I don't think I could handle the rejection when the doors open. Anyway, I think that would make the show 10 times better, but it's still good for what it is. Everyone's always like remotely attractive and has decent personalities. I just have so many thoughts on this season, and I'm not caught up. I think I'm like an episode or two behind. They just started moving in together, like living in the real world. They're done their trip to Mexico, and now they're living in each other's apartments or in the guy's apartment, whatever. And I just have so many thoughts. Okay, for starters, what the heck was with Anna just bouncing? Like literally, She had enough of the show and she just leaves. She never lets her dates know. I think she barely let the producers know. I don't even remember seeing that. And all of a sudden her dates are in the pod and they're like, "Hey Anna, what's up?" Crickets. Anna left the show. Anna couldn't handle the experiment. Girl, at least have the decency to say something. Am I right? I feel like some of the guys were pissed. They're like, "Girl, what the heck? Like you couldn't at least just tell us so we could keep moving on and move on to a different person?" And then next thing you know, Blake's doing the same thing. Blake was like, "I'm going to double it and give it to the next person. I'm also not showing up to my date." Nope. 2 wrongs make a right, according to Blake. So Blake just simply bounced. He just didn't say anything to his dates either. I'm like, what is this free-for-all? I didn't know this is how this works. I don't remember seeing this in seasons past. All of a sudden, everyone's just like, "Yeah, I'm over this show." I don't even know what the tipping point was for some of these people. Like, I don't know. I was confused by that. That threw me for a loop. But you know when you get that text on screen, it's like, Anna is no longer with the experiment. I'm like, ooh, this is getting good. Blake is no longer with the experiment. Something about that text on screen, I'm like, things are riled up now. So that was one thing. Another thing is, and listen, I mean, okay, there's a couple couples that I'm like, I just don't think they're going to last, okay? One of them being Joe, and I can't remember her name. She's the one who could potentially go blind one day. She has like an eye ailment. I can't remember her name, but I'm just like, they're not going to last. Like I can already see it. I already got that vibe. Okay, let me say this. When they saw each other after the pods, Joe was so all over the place and he was just like, I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. I don't know what to say. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And I'm like, crazy good or crazy bad? Are you happy about this or are you not? I think he was kind of beating around the bush. He was not saying really what he meant. And he was very hyped up. Like he was very excited. And he's like, I had a loss for words. Okay. What does that mean? Good or bad? Good or bad? Anyway, I think as time has gone on, I think he meant bad, if I'm being honest. And I feel bad for his girlie. I should have looked up her name. I have all this on my phone notes, but I filmed this on my phone, so I don't want to like stop this and restart it. So when I'm watching, like I immediately feel bad for her because I'm like, he is just not into this. Even in one of his interviews, he's like, listen, in the real world, I typically go for girls who are skinnier. And I'm like, oh. Now, he's being honest. Like, I think we got to give him credit. The producers are obviously asking him these questions. He's being honest. Like, my girls in the past have been a lot thinner. But I just imagine being the girl watching that back and just being like, oh. But they're not going to work out anyway. So I think by the time she watches that, she's going to be like, all right, whatever. I don't even care. Now, I was very pro her. Because I just kind of felt bad and like I feel like she's way more into it. But now as the season's progressing, she'll like ask him what's wrong and like he'll go to explain and she just freaks out, takes things the wrong way. She's like, oh, I'm sorry that I'm way more into this than you. I'm sorry that I'm so perfect and you're not. And it's just getting like very heated out of nowhere. And kind of agree with him. He said something. He's like, I am literally not going to tell you what's wrong ever again if this is how you're going to react. And I was like, okay, period, Joe. Like, I kind of agree with you. Now, there was a part where Joe was starting to get under my skin. The pool party. He was starting to act a little crazy. And honestly, like, the editors know what they're doing because they kind of let his antics go on a little too long. Like, he's joking around with the other guys. And it was starting to get really annoying. And then it kind of crossed that line between, did Joe drink too much or did Joe take a substance? Because Joe was not acting like Joe. So then he removes himself from the party, which was good. I felt like I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but I felt like she was adding a little bit to the chaos. She's like, you're acting so weird. Like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? I'm like, girl, get him a bottle of water and tell him to go back to the villa. Like, I don't know if we need all the semantics. And then she goes back home to check on him, like, after hours, and he's clearly disheveled. Like, okay, let's call it what it is. He blacked out at the pool party. He took a nap. He woke up. He had no idea where he was. He's asking her the same question 10 times, and she's just spiraling. Now, granted, I agree with her. I think he was acting wild, and it's like, dude, get it together. But there's a lot of cameras on him. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress. There's drinks flowing. He's back with his guy friends. Like, I think we got to keep that in mind. I think I'm also going to give her a little bit of grace. Like, this is a TV show and we're getting snippets. So I don't want to hold all of the craziness against her, but they're getting on my nerves. They're really getting on my nerves. I don't think they're going to work out. Okay. The other thing, Calabria and Edmund. Okay. Calabria is so secure in herself. That girl she knows what she wants. She's very mature. And you can tell, so she's a social worker. She's trained. Edmund starts to get emotional. She knows how to deal with it. Like, that girl is on point. I think she's being very respectful, if I'm being honest. Now, I know Edmund's been through a lot in his life. I think he ends up saying he was a foster child in and out of homes. Like, there's a lot there. But I think Calabria has done so much work on herself and so much training that her and Edmund just don't match up emotionally. Also, his fashion alone. Okay, when I'm seeing, I don't know, just like a lot of patterns. He's jumping all over the place. And I think Calabria is just like being nice. She's like, you're so cute. Like, you are so cute. Aren't you the cutest? And I think she's really just like, I can't wait for this to be done. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I have a feeling they're both going to say no at the altar because I think there's a part of him that also knows, like, this is just not going to work. I think the biggest red flag for me, and listen, Edmund was honest. He was honest with her, but I'm just like, she is not going to let this fly. She asked him on one of their dates, this is now when they're face to face, she said, so what if a guy comes at me and we're in public or does something to her in public? Like, what are you going to do? And he's like, nah, like, I'm probably not going to get involved. Like, I just, I don't want to disrespect anyone. I don't want to put my hands on anyone. I'm like, she's not going to let this fly. She's like, but like, they're disrespecting me. Like, you're not going to step in. He's like, no, I just don't like conflict. She's like, I'm like, girl, you gotta go. Run faster than he was running up and down those hallways, okay, in his floral shirt. You need to run. And she's being respectful. They just met his mom. She's being super nice. She's chatting, whatever. I think in the back of her head, she's like, this is just like a giant waste of my time. I'm like not going to put up with this much longer. The other couple, the hairdresser, and then the other guy. Now, the other guy ends up saying in the pods that one day his mom asked him if he was gay. And, I don't know if I would have shared that with her because now she's going to have this thought in her head. Now, if I'm her, I'm going to have this thought in my head. I feel like now I'm thinking you're gay. If your mom asked you that, now I'm thinking that's the case. And listen, maybe he's not, but I actually was already thinking it before he shared that story about his mom. And I'm not here to out anyone, but I just think he should have kept that story to himself. He was a little too honest. I'm glad people are being honest, a little too honest. And I think now, if I'm her, I'm looking at everything with a fine-tooth comb before I'm saying I do. Okay? And don't come at me for that, okay? Because you know what? If your significant other said that their sexuality was questioned, you would say the same thing. There's no way you're just like, yeah, that's so funny that your mom thought that. No. I know I'm right. So, yeah, so that was interesting. And now they're just not really getting along too well, at least in the scenes I'm seeing. She's actually way more into him than he is with her. I wonder why that is. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. It's just, I mean, it's gold. It's gold. They just really do a great job. There's something more to the story here, though, with Antoni and why can't I remember anyone's name? The Colombian girl. And is it with an A? Is it Anna? Anna, right? There's something there, something with the bank account, something. I don't think he has as much money as maybe he's letting off. Like, I don't know. And she's starting to pick up on it. Now, could be the editing, could be the music they put over top, but she's like, why are you acting weird? And I'm like, yeah, period. Why are you acting weird? But also, why are you guys having mimosas before you clock into your shifts at work? That one's not sitting right with me. Like, isn't she a nurse? Like, if I saw the nurse that took care of me that day popping open a bottle of champagne that morning, I don't know, it wouldn't sit right with me, but who am I to judge? Am I right? So that's that on that show. I'm going to have more thoughts hopefully next week as I keep watching. It's so addicting. Like, I never want these shows to end. I love them so much. Another thing I want to say, Nick and Vanessa, it's Vanessa, right? I'm horrible with the names today. Vanessa looks good. She looks good. The dress, the legs, her look, the sleek hair. They must have fired the old stylist and makeup and hair girl. Like, they got someone in there that is just top notch. Remember the year that they tried to do that reunion live? Everyone's Netflix was crashing, and then like I had to watch it on TikTok live just so I could be in the loop with everything because my Netflix wouldn't work. And I'm like, this is such a disaster. Anytime Netflix tries to do something live, I'm like, guys, no. Before I get into the pod, I can't believe I've talked that much about just my weekend and shows. I usually am already into the topic by now, but I want to share a little something with y'all. So, if you know me, I probably have mentioned to you Nello. Okay, guys. All right, so what this is it's a powder. I'll take one out of the box so you can see it. It has ashwagandha in it, L-theanine, magnesium glycinate, vitamin D3, a lot of vitamins in these powder packets. And I've been drinking these for a long time, and I love one before bed. Like, it literally relaxes me so well. My favorite combination, this isn't even my favorite kind. This is raspberry lemonade. I love the lemon. I think it's a lemon flavored. I'm brain dead today. Like, seriously, Columbus Day brain fog. I love the lemon lime, I think it is. And I put it in a Gatorade Zero, a blue Gatorade Zero. Thank me later. I got my sister Colleen and her boyfriend Tim on it. They were like, this is a lethal combination. Like, they love it. Anyway, this is raspberry lemonade because that was the only kind they had at the store. But guess what? I don't have to go in store anymore. I can go online because I have a code now. Yep, Mama's got a code for Nello Super Calm. So if you want to try these, seriously, they're great. Third-party tested, made in the USA, GMP certified, whatever that means. No artificial sweeteners. I love it. Anyway, I'm going to show you one because you know I love a Bev. Super Calm powder. So I just pour one of these in a glass of water or Gatorade Zero. I don't have Gatorade Zero today, sad. I love these so much. So what you're going to do is go to Nello.com, okay? And you're going to want to put the Nello Super Calm in your cart. I think this is also eligible on my code is also eligible on a couple other products. A lot of the boxes look like this. So at checkout, you're going to put in the code Hanna O'Reilly 9, HANNA OREILLY 9, all caps. Hit apply. You're going to get, I think it's about 10% off. 10% off. Make sure you don't have, when you're in the cart, I made this mistake. When you're in your shopping cart on Nello.com, make sure you don't have a subscription in there because you can get these like a subscription, like where they come to your front door every month. The code's not eligible on that. This is just for single boxes. So make sure you have it set to just a one-time purchase, and you could do it over and over and over, and you can keep using the code. if you want to support me, keep using the code. And they also sometimes they have other promos going. Make sure that promo is not set. Set it to Hanna O'Reilly 9. That's the promo code you want to use. And it would mean a lot to me because I really do love these. And I was so thrilled that they reached out to me. I think because I tagged them in something. I think that's what happened. Because I genuinely just was like, I drink these all the time. And I tagged them and then they reached out and they were like, we want to give you a code that you can share with your followers. And yeah, everything is so much better in a glass straw. These are super easy. Just throw them in your purse. Okay, got powder on the table. That's okay. We could just buy more with the code Hanna O'Reilly 9 at Nello.com. They also have something like super greens on there. Do your research. Check it out. I'm not a doctor. Obvi. I'm sitting here with a podcast mic. I'm not a doctor. If you thought I was a doctor, like, that's on you. Nello.com, code Hanna O'Reilly 9. Check it out. Any questions, just reach out. And I'll put all the details in the caption in case you missed this part or you want to revert back to it and you don't want to have to scrub through the entire episode, even though I'll get extra views if you do that. That's fine. I'll hook you up, okay? Tag me, tag Nello. I would love to see it. So, Nello Super Calm. Check it out. So, I was talking about the Broadway show earlier and I was talking about how they are literally all so talented and I really wanted to talk about that. So I love a Broadway show just for itself, but there's just something about seeing people go for their dreams. Like literally just work so hard at something their whole life and then make it to the big stage. And by big stage, like that's a metaphor. Like I mean anything you end up doing. It doesn't have to be a Broadway show. And just really working at it and believing in themselves. Like there's nothing cooler to me. So when I go to a Broadway show, that's all I'm focused on. Like I'm watching the lead in this Great Gatsby play and I am like, that guy, I can't even imagine sleepless nights, working weekends, missing holidays. You know, who knows if his family lives in New York or not, you know, moving far away from his family. The days in, days out of vocal coaching and dance lessons and everything just for that moment. It's just, I find it to be so cool. And, you know, I think I just have such respect for people who really just use their God-given talents and they're not afraid to do that and they're not afraid to be made fun of. And because I'm sure there's people that are like, oh my God, can you believe he's going to be an actor? Like, can you believe that's what his major is? Theater? Seriously? No, I actually have so much respect for you. Like you saw something in yourself and you said, I'm going to do this and you've clung to it. And now look at you soar. And even the people who aren't even at the Broadway level yet, just in general, like people who are like midway through their path, once I hear that someone is going after what they want to go after, I'm so impressed. Like I really am. I love when people go out. There's nothing worse than when it frustrates me. Like I'll see such potential in people and I'll be like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Like, what job? What's your dream job? What do you want to do? And they'll say, I would love to do this, but I'm just probably going to end up doing X, Y, and Z. And it's like, why? Like, we get one life. Come on. Like, go for it. And I am not saying, like, please, and I shouldn't even have to give this disclaimer. Like, you should know, when I'm saying this, I get it. Financially, it's not always feasible for people to you know, take the hit. It's not, but I've seen people make it work who probably thought that they otherwise couldn't. They get an extra job, they get an extra 2 jobs just so they can chase their dreams. And it is so not easy. And I feel like I can speak to this a little bit because, listen, I'm not a Broadway star, okay? I am not the lead in Wicked. I'm not the lead in The Great Gatsby. But I think there's so much similarity in just anyone that goes after their dream. I kind of want to give a little bit of backstory on just my career and just how I got to this seat. Like, what the heck? And maybe I'll do like a full episode on this, but essentially I started off with being a business major in college because I'm like, that's just what everyone does and that's how I'm going to make money. And some people, like, that's what they're meant to do. Like, their dream is study business, open up their own company, maybe, like, do work for another company that they've always wanted to do. I totally get that. That was not mine. And I just felt like it came with more job security. So that's why I'm going to go for that. And honestly, I'm really, really proud of myself for not sticking with that, because I knew it did not align with my soul. I'm like, I don't belong here. This is not what God has called me to do, like, for my life. Like, I'm pretending. I'm pretending because it makes for easier conversations, to say, oh, I'm studying business. People end up just, oh, okay, great. And then they move on. When you have to go to graduation parties all summer after you graduated college and you don't have a job, and you have to tell everyone that you graduated with an English degree, not easy. It's really not easy. And it's quite embarrassing, to be honest. Like, it feels embarrassing. It shouldn't be, but it felt really embarrassing. Like, I'm like, oh, and yeah, like, I feel like what people hear is, and this could have been my own insecurities, but I'm like, oh, I'm an English major and I don't have a job. No, I don't. I'm sure you could have guessed that I don't have a job because I studied English, but there was some fire in me that I'm like, I don't have a job right now, but just wait. I'm going to have a job. I'm going to have the job that I want, and I'm going to have so much fun while doing it. But it's hard to convince the people around you that what you're doing is going to stick when it's not sticking, because you see it in you, but obviously, like, it can be very hard. And especially, like, when people, oh no, why did the power just go out?